Are you a fan of 7 Days to Die, but want a more PvP experience in the game? Which, I don't know why you would, because that's crazy. 7 Days to Die and PvP, they're two things that are not the greatest together, especially considering that people can absolutely annihilate your bases. But would you prefer a PvP element where you've got zombies being controlled by players and a group of survivors trying to survive those zombies? Well, this is the thing for you. This is 7 Days Blood Moons. We have covered it slightly on the channel in the past. It looks pretty good. They've done quite a bit more to the game since their initial announcement towards the start of this year. It was slightly teased, but now we've got a final release date. 7 Days Blood Moons is a 4v1 fight for the death. Survivors will fortify bases and scavenge for materials, while the zombie master will command and possess the hordes that crush them. You can play this solo or with up to 4 friends against a human or AI zombie master, and who will prevail? Hopefully not the zombies, but I'm very excited for this. This reminds me a little bit of that Resident Evil, what was it called? Was it Reverse, I think it was? Which came free with Resident Evil 8, I think, or 7, I'm not sure. And it was quite an interesting concept. It died out pretty quick, the player base didn't really resonate with it, but I think for 7 Days to Die, this is something that a lot of the players would enjoy, and I'm actually quite excited for this. The only thing I really do not like is the art style. That sort of comic book Borderlands art style, I am really not a fan of at all, and that's going to be something that I find quite tough to get past. I don't know why they've done it like that and why they didn't keep it sort of the original 7 Days to Die graphics. In some of their original trailers, it did look like the graphics were going to change ever so slightly, but not to the extent that you can see in the new trailer that's playing in the background. Now, from these new trailers, we have got a little bit more news as to how things are going to work and what the gameplay is going to feel like. As I've already mentioned, it's a 4v1 fight to the death. 4 survivors versus 1 zombie master. And you can play both of those sides. If you want to be the 1 zombie master against 4 AI survivors, you can do that. Or if you want to be the 1 zombie master against 4 normal players, you can do that as well. I do like this. It's going to be fun, and I'm quite excited about the ways you can progress. We know that the progression is going to be a big part of this, same as it was in Resident Evil Reverse. It looks like in this, though, they've gone a lot heavier with that progression model. You'll be able to progress each individual weapon, each individual character, and each individual zombie and their traits that go alongside it. Now, this is being released on the 4th of November 2025 into early access from the Fun Pimps and Illogica teaming up together. It is published just by the Fun Pimps themselves, but Fun Pimps and Illogica are working together to develop this. Now, as mentioned, releasing on the 4th of November. The reason they've gone into early access is so they can get a lot of performance and balance updates to improve how this game is going to work. This is going to be a lot different compared to normal 7 Days. Obviously, there's a lot of exploits, especially if you are playing PvP in 7 Days to Die, but this, in more of a competitive edge, I think could be quite an issue. Now, they've said it's going to be in early access for up to 12 months. The full version, they're going to add season pass content, new maps, new zombies, a new customization, and the current state of early access is going to be pretty much similar to 7 Days. It's going to be normal. They're going to roll through and see how it goes. They say that they're quite far ahead and they've got a lot worked out already running as it will be. At the moment, they've just said the price is going to be a lot lower during early access, and they're going to be in this phase for 6 to 12 months where the price will go up substantially. I'd imagine like they did with 7 Days to Die. That price increase was, whoo, that was something big, especially if you didn't buy it in early access. It went from like 14, 15 quid all the way up to 40 quid. Which, yeah, I suppose some AAA titles are double that, but still, 7 Days, I'm glad that it's worked out the way it has. They've made a lot of strange decisions over the past few months/years, but with this coming out, definitely something a little bit different that will cater more to those that enjoy the PvP aspects of the game. So quite excited for that. Now, being able to play solo is definitely something that a lot of players want. I'm excited for that itself. But the whole 4v1 thing is going to be enjoyable, I think. And being in sort of a map-based setting, rather than that massive open world where you could randomly run into someone. Whereas this, you're going out there for that fight, and it's going to be fun. You're going to tear shit up. I do like the idea of being able to control all of the hordes yourself, And it seems like we are going to be able to do that. They're going to have various different skills. The zombies will have different assets that they can work with. As you can see here, you'll be able to go on an overview of the map where you can see different players, and all of your zombies are here on your left. So you've got the coppers, the fat dudes, the grannies, the therals, and the construction dudes, and then the witches themselves. And then here you can see you've got different amounts of them, so this probably means how many you've got out at that current moment. And being able to take control of individual zombies is going to change the way that gameplay actually works. How you're going to be able to do that, not too sure. Whether you're going to be able to do sort of like one and then stay in that one until it dies, or whether you're going to be able to transition between 1 and 2 zombies and swap and have them attack at different angles, really not sure. But overall, I like that idea. Being able to control the zombies, control the map yourself, have various zombies in there, and going through their upgrades. I'm assuming you're going to have to upgrade zombies before you can get to things like ferals and stuff like that, and the bigger dudes and the bombers. Whether those guys are going to be in there, not too sure. They have said after early access they will be adding more and more creatures and more zombies, so I'd assume they're going to start off with the base, and judging by the screenshot I just showed, it does seem that way. Base normal zombies, and then the witches, the cops, the stuff that you can come across right from the start in normal 7 days at a very low game stage. I'm assuming if they are going to add any sort of high game stage zombies, they'll definitely be doing that towards the end of early access, or when it releases, and things like that will be a season pass item. Now, my worry about this and the online scope of it and being a season pass, sort of with season passes, should I say, is they're going to lock a lot of the good stuff behind a season pass, I reckon. And if you are just playing and you do want to enjoy the game without having to fork out too much cash, I think it is going to be harder to play. Or, hopefully, if they are adding stuff like season passes, they go purely down the route of cosmetics. Because cosmetic stuff in a PvP setting, perfectly fine, doesn't really matter, doesn't hurt anyone. But if you're adding those higher tier zombies into a season pass and weapon upgrades and things like that, well, bit of a shitty move, definitely going to make things a little bit tougher, and going to annoy a lot of people. So we'll have to wait and see what they do in terms of Season Pass, and how those higher end zombies are going to come into play. But for today, we are going to leave that there. We do know it is coming out on the 4th of November. It is available on, I think, just PC first. I haven't seen any news on whether it will be coming to console and when it will be coming. We'll have to wait and see for that one. But 7 Days to Die Blood Moons, a PvP 7 Days to Die game. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm very excited to try it out. The art style, as mentioned, is something that doesn't really tickle my fancy, but it's probably something I can get past if the gameplay is good and it's an enjoyable experience. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. For today, we are going to wrap that one up there. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more 7 Days to Die. We cover it every single Monday at 7 PM UK time. We cover the hordes and we go around doing quests and stuff like that. Loads of fun. Fondle those buttons if you're a fan of the game and other survival titles. If you want to check out more RPG-based content from me, then go to the link tree down below and check out the second channel, Space Cowboy. We'll be covering the Outer Worlds in full when that releases later on this month. For now though, I've been Wired, you've been awesome, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.